What is happening, everybody? Welcome to Dat Dude. And before we get started, we're going to leave with the breaking news that literally just happened. SJ just sent it to us via text while we were talking about this. And let's take it to Buddha and the Bryce Underwood movement. It's all yours, brother. What you got to say?
I mean, what can you say? The sky is falling. It's panic time. The end is near. I mean, this guy Brian Kelly. I mean, we got to get him out the building. I mean, he's got to go. This guy doesn't have a meaningful win in his tenure at LSU. And before y'all listen and start being like, "What about Ole Miss? What about Alabama?" Yeah, since the Ole Miss game, he's 1-3. Congrats, whoop-de-doo. Great job, dude. You're 6-4 this year. You just lost the best player in the recruiting cycle. You just left you at the altar. And then Alabama went a couple years ago. Good for him. I mean, what a disaster. I mean, it's a dumpster fire at this point. And they thought the stadium was going to be empty Saturday. And people may just be fully empty. Might just be Vanderbilt people. I mean, I'm not even like angry. I'm like not stunned. I'm just like disgusted. I could vomit right now. I feel like a Kansas fan or something.
And you kind of alluded to it. You alluded to it on the podcast. You said, "Hey, if things keep going this way, you got to start getting worried." And you were saying your exact words were, "It's not the class; it's Underwood that you got to worry about leaving." And
that's the thing. Everybody wants to talk about this elite recruiting class. It don't matter what kind of players you get in the class. If they ain't a quarterback, the program. We know what LSU looks like with a ton of freaks everywhere with a bad quarterback. We had 15 years of Les Miles. We're aware of what that looks like. So I could care less that they got 2 5-star cornerbacks committed, the number one player in Louisiana. Like, whoop-de-doo, great for y'all. Now you got to roll out Nuss or Ricky Collins or whatever you want to roll out. But I'd rather lose the 2 5-star cornerbacks and get Underwood. Now the class is like, okay.
And then he might, like Cade Phillips, start to flirt with Texas again. Like that's the big domino falls. And then other people start to mess around a little bit. But really, that was the crutch Brian Kelly had was Bryce Underwood's on the way. Now you're sitting at 6th in the recruiting class, and that's good in theory, but there's 4 SEC.
Well, you ain't 6 no more. Is
that where y'all already were?
That's where we were. You're going to drop to probably 10.
Yeah.
So now your highest rated recruit is like the number 7 overall player in Pickett. And then after that, it's the running back at 17.
Harlem Berry.
Yeah, you got Cade Phillips, DJ Pickett, Harlem Berry, and you may end up with Jakeem Stewart. But I mean, I'd be stunned if Jakeem Stewart committed to LSU at this point.
Yeah, shocking way to start a Thursday, especially when we're literally right about to record. SJ pops it off and is like, check it out.
I think there's also this thing where people are going to do like this. Well, look how many good quarterbacks LSU missed out on during the Miles era. This is way different because Miles didn't have Heisman Trophy winners and guys lighting up the NFL to point to and go like, look what can happen here. Like, he didn't have that. So, like, God, why would they want to come? You were sitting on a gold mine. Your quarterback won the Heisman Trophy last season. He's going to win the NFL Rookie of the Year, and he's going to be an MVP finalist. And you can't get a guy in the door, and he's going to Michigan.
And we talked about their quarterback play the past few years. It's been kind of atrocious. I mean, J.J. McCarthy did win a national championship, but he wasn't the type of quarterback you would think Underwood would go. We were all thinking Underwood was going to LSU.
Was with less than 200 passing yards. Like, there was threw the ball like 6 times. McCarthy. Yeah.
I'm sure that also played a factor. Nuss hasn't been playing good. I'm sure there's been communication that Nuss is coming back next year, which makes me pissed off that you would lose a guy like Underwood because you want to bring back Garrett Nussmeier. Also, I'm over this whole idea of quarterbacks sitting for a long time and waiting their turn. If you've been waiting a long time, you ain't fucking good enough. Like, that's just where I stand on it. You ain't fucking good enough. I mean, it's college football in this day and age. Like, who waits till their 5th year to be a starter? You ain't good enough. See you later. Bye. Go somewhere else. Go play at Tulane. Go play at UL. We ain't got time for you here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We should have given Malik Murphy. Fuck. We should have just emptied the bank account and got Malik Murphy.
Yeah. He was a big name. He was a big name in the portal, and a lot of people were looking at him. But then he ended up at Duke somehow or another. So hey, it's interesting turn.
And LSU has been such a good example for athletes in general of like maximizing NIL opportunity, becoming a massive superstar through being an athlete at LSU. From football to gymnastics, LSU just has mega stars, both men and women. So it's like Brian Kelly doesn't have any kind of excuse of not having the resources or whatever to close on deals. I mean, this is just the time of the recruiting cycle where every team in their out of state prospects, they're having to make sure they keep them and assure them. Texas is doing it with their Florida kids and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't know. That was his crutch. He's so fucking hateable. His face, the way he sounds.
I mean, I don't know. The problem is that the Baton Rouge media is so pussified. I doubt they even ask him the question directly. They're going to ask him some roundabout question about like, well, what do you think? You know, with recruiting, how do you like? Somebody needs to walk in a press conference and ask this bum questions to his face.
I think the only media member I seen stand up to Kelly was whenever he said something about, hey guys, how about y'all show up on time, and the girl said, how about you start winning some games and then we can show up on time.
Yeah.
I was like,
have you heard? Hey, have you heard her since?
No, they got rid of her. I assume
that's what happens because the Baton Rouge media is all tied in financially with the school, so they control the narrative. So when they get people go in there, they ask these layup questions like, LSU just lost 3 in a row and lost the number 1 recruit in the country, and the questions are going to be on Monday, regardless if they win or lose. They're going to be like, Coach, what's the state of the team right now? How do you feel about what do you think about your process? Shut the fuck up.
how did
Ask
the
this
gold
bum, how'd you not close the number 1 player in America? How have you been here 3 years and we suck? That's what I want to know, Coach. I want to know why Tulane's ranked and we're not. Can you answer that question? Can you answer me this? I don't want to hear about your bum-ass roster you took over. Can you answer me how Deion Sanders took over a 1-12 team and in year 2 is going to make the playoff and you lucky to make a bowl game? Can you answer me that, Coach? That's what I'd like to hear the answer to. I don't give a fuck about your process. The process is broken. I don't know why we even using the word process. We watched the 76ers go like, don't do that. That's
Yeah.
never the plan. Go win. There ain't no process. The process is winning. Nuts.
All right. That'll be a good clip right there. We'll
Nuts.
save that for sure. Um, let's kind of shift focus a little bit and get to that dude. Unless SJ, you got any final thoughts on it?
No, he nailed it on the head. I do agree though with the media. Like most of the SEC, most teams in the SEC are stuck in like 1985 with how they operate with their media. They are like they don't ask tough questions. They don't challenge the coach. If they do, they're exiled. Like it's
Crazy.
yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of it's that way here in Austin too with the media. Because I know Chip Brown got in some issues last year for asking or a couple years back for asking questions that people didn't like, and he got blackballed for a while. But they kind of got it corrected now, and everybody just asks the little vanilla questions. No one comes out swinging anymore. They're like, hey, we get one question, so we got to make it a, one that's not going to get us in trouble and keep us here for next week. So um, something's got to change with that because, like Buddha said, somebody's going to have to step up and just be like, hey, challenge these coaches on either whatever, whether it's
Like we're
recruiting
all on Twitter.
or what.
We're all on the internet. Like there's no reason to avoid it anymore. It's all out there. Everybody thinks what they think. But ask the question. Be like, hey, millions of people on Twitter are saying this about you. What do you think?
Well, the thing I don't get is then they'll get on a podcast, these media guys, and go like, yeah, I hear the fans. I mean, what do they want me to do? Go in there and start cussing them out? No. I want you to go ask him questions that are relevant and meaningful. Go ask him a question of like, Coach, can you explain how you have how you're 6-4? Can you explain that to me in year 3 when you have spoke about year 3 since you got the job here? Can you explain why you're 6-4? And we already know about the process. Like, ask him a question that makes him have to get uncomfortable. They just lay up stuff. It's like as you said, it's just vanilla stuff. It's like, is the team still together? No, they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Hey, maybe one day we'll have some microphones and we'll be in there asking the question.
For a day. They'll kick me out the first day. I'll ask one question. They'll be like, "You got to go." I won't even get to hear the answer.
I got you. We were going to introduce the basketball section of That Dude this week, but Bo got tied up. He has some things he's got to get handled, so we're going to release that next week where Bo's going to bring some college basketball athletes. We will as well, but we wanted to start that off with Bo because Bo's our go-to basketball guy. Being that it's the new week of That Dude, we'll start with let's give SJ a start. SJ, you start with one of your guys, and then we'll roll through it.
All right, cool. So this guy, my athlete, he played in the late '90s, so he's more tailored to Pete, but you both know him for sure. He won the Paul Warfield Field Trophy, which I think was just the Bolitnikoff back then. It was a receiver trophy. I'll let you know that. He was unanimous All-American both in '98 and '99. He was All-Conference '97 through '99. His jersey is retired at his university. He was a first-round draft pick, number 4 overall, after he finished college in the 2000 NFL draft.
Can we get a NFL? Who was he drafted by?
He was drafted to an AFC team.
In 2000, you said?
Yeah.
2000.
Did you give conference?
It's a wide receiver. He said.
Yeah,
Can you give us?
Give the conference yet?
Can you give us conference or no? Or is that too much of a hint?
The ACC.
ACC's heyday. In 2000.
He somehow isn't in the College Football Hall of Fame yet, but he was on the ballot in 2023.
I got it.
Yeah.
Peter Warwick.
Yeah.
As soon as you said ACC, I was like,
yeah. Oh, I almost didn't give it, but I was like, I'll give it.
Dude, you shouldn't have gave it. For some reason, I was thinking Braylon Edwards.
I thought that maybe you guys would have gone with some Miami guys first or something like that.
I was thinking Miami. When you said ACC, I was thinking Miami, and then I was thinking of that time period, and I was like,
yeah, Florida State.
I was like, it wasn't wide receivers, and then I was like, oh wait, ACC wide receiver Bolitnikoff. It's got to be Peter Warwick.
Yeah, Peter Warwick, dude.
Yeah, got it. Since I won,
Cincinnati Bengals too. Like if you were,
you would have been out 100%.
Peter Warwick of the late '90s was the guy.
He was the guy. He was so cheated on college too. Yeah, he was so cheated on college too, like unbelievably cheated, like punt returns, kick returns, anything. But since I got that one right, I'm gonna go ahead and skip you, Buddha, and go ahead of you with my. All right, so my guy was in college from. I just had this all pulled up and I pulled it down. Oh man. Let's see. So he was in college. God damn it. From 04 to 07. He wasn't a starter until 07. He was an All-American. He was All-Conference. He is a national champion in 07 as well. I shouldn't have pointed that out. That probably gave. He's unique for his position, and I can't tell y'all why he's unique for his position. I'll tell y'all afterwards. Let me give y'all his first touchdown he scored was off of a block punt.
It's an LSU player, right?
It's got to be right. I was going to ask you a question.
It is an LSU player.
His first. It feels like it'd be too much of a layup to be early.
Who? Early just play.
What position you say he play?
I said he was unique for his position. I didn't give y'all a position. I'll give y'all a hint to his position. He was a Thorpe Award finalist. He didn't fully start until the 2007 season as well. So his freshman season, he played in 4 games. He didn't start. His sophomore season, he played in 13 games. Only started 3. Same thing for 06. Played in all 13. Only started 3.
You said his first play was a blocked.
His first touchdown was a blocked punt. Quit looking at the
computer. I'm on my guy to make sure I got my stats pulled up. I can show you if you want to see. Well, I'm not going to show you.
Good, I believe you.
It's just
I believe you. So he is an unsung hero of the LSU's DBU.
Yeah, I'm
I,
so deep into the
I,
weeds.
I forgot about him until I started looking, and I was like, "Ooh, this will be a good one. This will be a good one."
Who was
This
that?
should be my
You want to know
straight.
who he was drafted by?
Yes.
He was drafted in '08. He was drafted fourth round, the 120th pick by the Chicago Bears.
Who went to the Bears? Fuck. I'm trying. I got all these LSU teams are running together in my head right now.
What are his NFL accolades? Does he have any?
Let me give you some of his NFL accolades.
It's not Craig Stouts?
It's Craig Stouts.
Craig Stouts.
Craig Stouts. His unique thing for his position is a white boy. They played they
But
played
off was I didn't realize his first touchdown was a blocked.
played safety for LSU and didn't start till '07, which still good. They won a national championship. He was All American in '07. He was All SEC in '07. 4-4. Well, and I was about to give y'all some of his NFL facts right before he guessed it. But yeah, I completely forgot about him too. And then I started looking for a guy, and I was like,
He had a game in '07. I don't think it was the Virginia Tech game, but he had a game against someone where he had like 27 tackles.
the dude
I
was
mean,
a,
he
the,
had a game. It was like he had a pick and like 20 something tackles. It was an insane stat game. I
yeah
remember going home from the
his
state and like, oh my god,
his last year he had 101 tackles.
yeah, dude, it was nuts. I'm gonna
Dude,
try. I gotta find this what game it was and what the number was.
he had 3 forced fumbles his last year as well, and 6 picks.
God, I gotta find.
Producer Cole calling me in the middle of the recording.
Let's see if I can find this damn game.
Yeah, it was like his stats were awesome though. That's why I was like, damn, all right, this dude's.
Yeah, he had a crazy. I can't remember the damn game, but I remember it was nuts. He put up like insane numbers.
I remember him playing at LSU, but I completely like if I wouldn't have looked it up, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
thought about it again.
I would have never did it.
Let me see if
I
I
knew
can.
Buddha would get it. He was one
Yeah,
of those guys. He was one of those sneaky guys on college that when you would play to that would you'd be like, why is this dude so damn good? Like, why is he so damn good?
I can't remember what game it was. I'm telling you, he had a game. He went.
profile.
That's how I introduced my friends to Vince Young. Whenever the game came out, I was like, dude, I got a freshman on Texas's team that's gonna destroy y'all. He's unbelievable. And they were like, who is this kid? Who is this kid? And then he blew up the next year. They were like, holy shit. But you're up, balls in your court, Buddha.
My guy's a deep cut guy. My guy. I'll do like this. I'll give you position to start. My guy's the best quarterback to ever play at a school. My guy never got drafted.
Oh, best quarterback.
He
At
played
his
from '06 9.
played in the SEC. I already know who
No,
he played for. I know he didn't play in the SEC.
no SEC.
Oh shit.
Owns
Did
his school's He owns his school's record for passing yards, passing touchdowns, quarterback rating, completions, attempts, and completion percentage.
The
He's also
Graham
top 10 in this conference all time in passing yards and passing touchdowns.
can we get a conference?
is it Graham Harrell?
No, it's the Big 12, so we're getting somewhere. His junior season was by far the best season in school history.
And he wasn't
Oklahoma.
drafted.
No, and he was not drafted. He ended up playing professionally for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
Was it the guy that Des Bryant, Oklahoma State quarterback that Des Bryant played with?
No.
But
His senior season started off 5-0, and they finished 5-7.
Oh wow. Um,
He threw for over 3,000 yards 3 times.
the no.
Is it now? I think
His head coach was an all-time looking guy, like just visually all-time guy.
Oh, Kansas. The dude that played the guy is it the guy from Kansas?
His head coach was Mark Mangino.
Oh man, I don't even know any
I
Kansas
don't know the
quarterback.
guy's
I tell
name, but
you,
I quarterback.
I could.
He-
Yeah,
He's he's from Austin. He played at Lake Travis.
I didn't know that, but I know that like, he was number 5. I can't think.
You want me to tell you his name?
Just tell me the name.
yeah,
Todd Reesing.
Todd.
Yeah,
I remember him now.
that's
Yeah, I remember him.
a good name.
Yeah, he had one of those remarkable pop-up years where you're like, "Whoa, where'd this kid come from?"
Well, they went like undefeated. Like, was it 08 or?
They went. That would have been in, I believe it was 07. I think the same, because the 07 college football season may be the wildest one of all time. They went 11-0, and then they lost to Missouri, and that game was kind of going to be the layup for who was going to play in
OU.
the title,
Yeah,
because the Big 12 championship that year was against West Virginia, who was horrible.
yeah.
No, West Virginia was good that year, so it was
No,
like whatever it worked out.
you in Missouri, Chase Daniels.
Yeah, that was one of the weirdest. That was like the 07 season. I think there was 8 straight weeks where the number 2 team in the country lost.
Yeah, and like I think Kansas got way up there in the rankings, and as soon as they did,
They were
yeah,
number 2. They lost.
Yeah, they played.
Lost. USC lost.
Yeah,
Missouri number 1.
Lost.
yeah, and they played in a BCS bowl game that year too.
They beat Virginia Tech. They went 11 and what was it?
11-1.
11-1 or 12-1.
And then like 2 years later, he got fired.
Yeah, because the next year started off. I thought it was crazy. They started off the next year 5-0, and then they lost 7 straight to end the season.
That was a damn good one. Damn good one.
Ball coach was a looker. That's for sure.
Dude, he was a winner though. There was no Kansas. Like he built Kansas up, and then after they fired him, they were in the depths of
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, he got hired at Kansas in 2003, and they made a bowl game every year until 2009.
And they fired him.
They were like, "See you later." Like they just thought they were them all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Young almost lost to Kansas.
Yeah, he got pissed. He got pissed when Vince they came back and won it because of a pass interference call, and he was like, "That's a horseshit call. The only reason that play was called is because of the BCS, because this game had BCS implications and this and that. Because that's the year that was
4, I think.
yeah, that was the year before the national championship because we played Michigan and beat them in the Rose Bowl.
That was the 4th and 16 that Vince ran for.
Yep.
Dude, that 2007 Kansas team, like they were ranked. They were 12th in total defense and 2nd in total offense that year. Like they were really good.
And then the wheels fell off.
They lost Tyrese. I remember playing with him.
Which hey, shit similarities. So they had this great year and then fell off. LSU had a Heisman Trophy winner last year, and then this year is kind of like. Here's my question to you: the last time we'll harp on LSU because we've been kind of picking on for a while. If they somehow lose this game to Vanderbilt, do y'all ever wear gold jerseys again?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, I think
when was the last time y'all wore gold jerseys?
they wore them in '97 for like 3 games, and they went 2-1 in them. And then they wore them before that. They keep saying the first time they ever wore them was '97. They wore them in the '58 national championship year 3 times. But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, I still think they would. People said they would never wear purple helmets, and they did it.
Yeah. I don't get why you're wearing it after 3 consecutive losses and against Vanderbilt. I
think it was
scared to fuck around with uniforms. Like I don't think they're ever going to look back on a uniform. LSU doesn't strike me as a team, as a fan base that's going to look back and blame uniforms for losing a game.
Well, you'd be stunned. They wore purple pants against Kentucky in like '98, and they lost. And a donor bought them and burnt them that night.
yeah, that's cool.
They lost the game. He's like, I need all the pants, and they're like, you know how much money it is? He's like, I don't care, and he burnt them. But again, this is what we talked about through text this morning. There is an old portion of the fan base that's like all tradition, blah blah blah. Like LSU's only worn the helmets they're currently they didn't wear them forever. They had a different helmet in the 70s. It was still
Yeah,
gold, but
the
it
Billy
wasn't.
Cannon era.
Yeah, it's
Like
and we talked about that. We talked about the uniforms and everything else and then Buddha presented us with a candy corn outfit that he thought looked good for Texas, and I was like, no.
uh,
And then
we
he
could.
called me an old man.
Well, LSU got in the rut where they've done a couple special uniforms. So then Nike goes, hold up, we'd like another one. We'd like another one. So like, if you're not going to do them, where LSU fans need to like get off the soapbox, is like once you do one, Nike's like, we sell it. When we bring up like the gold jerseys are selling, people are buying them. So like they're
Yeah.
going to keep rolling out new ones because Nike's going to go, well, you need another one.
Yeah. I think the best look that I like that of all the uniform changes was just when y'all went to the white helmet. The first time I saw that white helmet, I was like, that's pretty cool.
They've
That's
done the white helmet. The first time they did the white helmet, I want to say was in '97. I think with the gold jersey, they went white, gold, white, which is what they're doing Saturday. Then
okay.
they busted them back out in '07 against Tulane. They went white, purple, white.
Or
That's
what
another thing.
was it when the hurricane uniforms y'all wore for after
That
Katrina?
that was that was
Yeah.
against Tulane. But
Yeah.
this is the other thing. There's like people who are in the fan base who are like, we didn't start doing this shit until like 3 or 4 years ago. I'm like, LSU's been wearing crazy like one crazy uniform a year for like over a decade. They had a jersey with tiger stripes. They had a jersey with tiger stripes and the numbers. They wore a white helmet with gray tiger stripes on it in '09 or in 11, one of the 2 years. Like they've done crazy stuff, and I could care less. If you think you're not winning national championships because LSU wore a purple jersey this year, then like you're a lunatic. Like I'll do it. Like if you think that's the reason, you're crazy.
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
love the purple jerseys too.
But they
I love purple as a dominant color. Is the only thing.
Marcus Russell looks good in the purple.
Well, that's about the one thing you look at. How he was
exactly.
a pick blows my mind. Good night.
Absolutely. SJ, did you have another guy?
Now I could do another guy.
Yeah, that's all.
Let's do one more and then we'll call it.
All right, let me a second.
Let me see. Just start guessing names now. Make you retype.
I'm gonna start guessing names now. Tonight was some good ones.
That Penn State linebacker, Polonsky, Paul, whatever his name is.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I got one. Since SJ took so long, I got one.
I got it.
All right. All right. So he was in school from 05 to 07. So yeah, he left early. He played for two different universities though. He was at I'm not gonna give you universities yet. We'll wait on that. He was drafted in 2008. And I'll give y'all where he was drafted to. He was drafted to the Miami Dolphins in 08. So he started at one college and then transferred to another one.
Ted Ginn.
No. He let me give you some of his accolades. He was only an All-American in 07. But his stat wise, he caught as a freshman, he caught 89 passes for 1,124 yards and 14 touchdowns.
Can we have the conferences in which he transferred from? Like, or I guess both of them.
Well, I take that back. He only played for one university. He was committed to one, but he lost his scholarship because I didn't even realize this until now. He was sentenced to a juvenile facility before the end of his senior year. So he lost his scholarship that would have been at Oregon State. He played for a lesser known university. But he was an instant impact as soon as he got on the field. He for all 3 years he had over 1,200 receiving yards
In the NFL?
in college. He was an all freshman in 05. He was all conference in 05, 06, and in 07. He still holds the school record for receptions and receiving touchdown, and he's third all time for receiving yards. He played for the Dolphins from. We're not hearing a name. You're going to be like, oh, what? He played from the Dolphins from 08 to 2012. He ended his career, he played one more year, and he finished with the Cleveland Browns.
So he wasn't a great pro.
He had 363 receptions, 3,809 yards, and 14 touchdowns as an NFL.
What conference did he play in?
He played in. That's what's going to throw you for a loop. He played in the WAC.
So that would have been
Like Boise or something?
Yeah, that's like those. It's like who was in the WAC at that point? Because TCU was already out of it. TCU was in the Mountain West by then, I believe. The WAC. Who would have been in the WAC? Did he play at Fresno State? Was that a WAC school?
He did not play at Fresno State. Every year he eclipsed in the NFL. He had over 500 yards receiving and at least a touchdown. His worst year, his last year was his worst year ever.
I have no idea.
This is kind of a tricky one for that dude. It was a quick one.
This was like the Wildcat Miami Dolphins too, so like I can't think about any receivers.
Yeah, all I can think about is Ricky Williams and Ronnie Brown.
Yeah.
All right, y'all give up. Y'all want to give it to y'all?
Yeah.
Cool. Give me the school first.
He went to Hawaii.
Hawaii.
So with like Colt Brennan.
That's why his numbers were up so good. That was the connection. Him and Colt had something that rolled.
I have no idea.
I don't know his name.
When you hear his name, you're gonna be like, "What?" You should remember him after you hear his name, but maybe not. You ready?
Yeah.
Davion Bess.
He did play for the Dolphins. I can see his Dolphins jersey right now in my head.
With his dreadlocks hanging out, number 15.
Yeah.
And fast as shit. He was cheated on Madden because I would run reverses with this dude nonstop. I played with him because Ricky was on the team. So that's how I knew about him. And I was like, this dude's fast as hell. So I would always find a way to get him the ball. But unless y'all got another one, I think that's all we got for that dude tonight.
Yeah, I'm good.
I feel like Ted Ginn was a great guest. I think Ted Ginn was also drafted by the Dolphins in that same draft.
Yeah.
I believe he was too.
Yeah.
But that's all we got for y'all on that dude tonight. Next week we'll be looping in some college basketball players, so it'll be fun as well.
Well, what are we doing next week? It's Thanksgiving next Thursday.
Oh, so next Thursday we will probably not be doing that, dude. We will probably all be getting.
I'll be drunk.
Getting intoxicated and eating too much food with the family. So next Thursday we'll probably postpone it unless we get a feather up our ass and decide to jump on here and act like idiots together, because we probably might end up doing that with with our crew, but we'll figure it out. Y'all,
yeah, I'll be building my Dallas Cowboys draft board with my dad.
Good. Yeah.
It'll be all-time family sports arguments, but I guarantee someone's gonna make a FaceTime call to be like, "Hey, back me up on this." In an argument, watch. It'll happen. But hey, look, that's all we got for y'all tonight. We'll holler at y'all next time. Y'all got anything for them, fellas?
See y'all.
All right, y'all have a good one. Hook.